I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching accesstv.org.
Wow, that was great. And we're going to welcome back Mr. Kevin Palmer, actually the first musician to the challenge. So I'm glad that he was able to come in. And he was talking to us in the first half about kind of how he came into this profession as being a musician. And then, the second half, we always get into the more here and now. And we're going to talk about what it's like to have a craft and trying to make it in this really competitive industry of music, and especially in a genre that's not, I would say, not popular, and the fact that you're not going to turn on MTV and see a jazz show, but it's definitely an industry that there's a lot of powerful and strong musicians in this industry. So welcome back, Kevin. How you doing?
Doing good.
All right. So something like that. What was that called? That wasn't a song. What is that when the musician plays a few? Is that chords or is that?
Well, that was a song called "On It."
Okay.
It's over the blues chord changer, and I played the melody, which is like 12-bar blues. I played it twice, and then I played a 12-bar improvisation solo. And then the melody comes back in and you play a 12-bar blues at the end again.
Okay, so when you say all that before you pick up the instrument, do you know that, or does it just kind of goes as you?
Yeah, I know the structure of the measures, and pretty much I pick a time. So pretty much I'm like playing without a band, but I can still pretty much follow the same rhythm.
Okay, so if you were playing with everyone else, they would then kind of be playing with you, and it changes the sound.
Yeah, that's a great thing about jazz is that if I know the chord changes and someone else that I never met before that's a jazz musician knows the same chord changes, tell them what key it's in, and we're playing the blues, we could just count off and everybody would know. Like the bass player, he'd be able to play the right chords, but the notes don't have to be a certain notes. It's just he just knows which chords to follow along with.
Now you said blues, so when someone says blues and then someone says jazz and then they say rock and roll and they say soul, as a musician, because as a consumer, I just I always look at jazz as an instrument. Or people playing an instrument, even though you have jazz singers, but blues is the singing, but it's also the music, and so how does a musician look at the different genres? Like, so you play jazz, do you think, or do you desire to play rock and roll or soul, or is it like I play jazz and that's it?
Well, when I say the blues, it's a certain structure, bar structure, and chord changes. Every song has chord changes, but jazz, sometimes the songs they make, they have more advanced chords to it. But like rock and roll and certain blues and stuff, they might have a simpler format that like repeats slowly, so it's kind of like easier to just listen along to and easier to understand. But jazz might seem a little more advanced because they have a lot of changes in the chords. But that's why rock and roll catches on so much in pop music, because it's like one bar loops over.
Oh,
so it's kind of
simple.
easy. Yeah,
It's real. It's not as intricate as jazz. You're right, because if you follow a jazz song, it's similar, but it's not the same. In I guess a pop song or some of the rap music is basically the same thing repeating itself over. Now, do you write music yourself, or is that something that is it different from someone that plays or someone that writes?
Yeah, I write music looking for like when I have my band together, I definitely will make original songs, but right now I just, learn all the standards, make sure I know everything, songs that's already been out, and from there I could create new melodies over those same chord changes and then make new changes of my own composing.
Oh, and that's how new music gets created.
Yeah.
So I always thought that, because instruments have been around for so long and the same notes, so it's just how they're played that makes it different from one, the tempo and the I guess the order in which notes are played. Is that what makes a song or?
Yeah, it's like there's a bass, like the root notes, and it's a certain pattern that they go in through every measure. That's why the bass is a very important instrument in jazz.
The bass, the long...
The top, yeah.
Okay.
Because it plays the root notes, and then the instruments play like the higher melodies, but they're basically based off of the bass.
Now, have you heard of musicians like Wynton Marsalis, and I know locally you have Marion Meadows, and so where do you want to go? Like today, present day, what do you want to do with your music? Where do you want it to take you?
I really want to just be able to fill my schedule with playing at, doing events. I just want to be able to perform the music I want to play, but I don't know, play it for any event like birthdays, weddings,
okay,
at the clubs, but just play the music I want to play, but play it anywhere for people.
How hard is that to do? Because when you see someone, how does one get from just enjoying the instrument to actually, I didn't watch it faithfully, but I've seen like making of the band and all of those shows. I mean, is the process similar to that, where you just call people up, or you say, oh, he knows how to play? Like, how does a band get formed, and how does what me and our viewers as consumers see on stage, how does it come to that? How do you get to that point?
Well, as far as forming a band, the different players, they know how to play individually first, and then you pretty much look for players that are solid in themselves as individual players. So when you get them together, it's not like they have to learn very much. They already know what they're doing on their own. So that's just forming the band.
So what I mean, so you play the saxophone, but is it one person that plays it, or do you need three people, or is that decided as you kind of put it?
Well, a basic band would be like a quartet, which would have four people, and you would want your rhythm section, which is a bass player to play the bass notes, a piano player to play multiple chords, either a piano or a guitar because they can play chords.
Okay.
And a drummer to keep the rhythm, and that's your rhythm section. And then you could have a saxophone as, playing the melody.
Okay.
And you could add extra instruments up from there.
All right. So, so you right now, do you currently have a band, or you're looking to form a band, or?
Right now, I currently playing by myself, because really I could go out and use like a recording of a band, play it, and be the saxophone, but have the recording playing, and then from there, when you get hired for a job, you would have to split the pay with the rest of the band. So when you get to that level where you making enough from it, then it makes business wise sense to be like, okay, call somebody up that plays the drums. Okay, I could give you this much. Call a bass player, piano up.
I always wanted to know that. Like, how does that come about as far as what you make as a musician? So when you go to some place like a Black Eyed Sally's, are they making hundreds of dollars for that performance, or are they making thousands, or like a gig at a small club or bar? Is that something that's lucrative, or?
I'm not sure exactly how much they get, but I know pretty much only the headlining band would pretty much get paid at like a Black Eyed Sally.
Oh, okay.
And I guess they have a jam session after that, after they play, which is like just musicians come and play together.
And no money. So you do that for the love.
Yeah, for the love.
Okay, but that's how people get to know who you are, right?
Yeah, then you could connect with people. Like if you were looking for a band, and people who play different instruments, that's one way to go meet them and be like, all right, I'm looking to do it. Like if I find a gig, can I call you and see? So you can build your network up.
Okay, and then that's how you kind of get going. So you said you play solo now. Is that something you see yourself getting into, or developing a band, or you think you're just gonna go on your own for a while, or?
Yeah, like right now I'm just trying to get as many jobs solely as possible.
Why you said that? What's the difference? Why is it better to go solo than to go with a band? Is it just the financial piece, or?
Yeah, because you don't have to ask for the much.
Right.
Right now I won't ask for too much.
Right.
I mean, and then from there, as the jobs get bigger, because then you could have enough to split around with people.
Oh, okay. All right. So when do you play now? When's the last time you played professionally, so to speak, or in front of a live audience?
Live audience, pretty much going to jam sessions.
Okay.
Going to University of Hartford and just networking and playing with the bands, just to make sure I could stay in tune with playing. Because first I enjoy playing it with people.
Right.
But yeah.
Like anything else, you can't just practice golf, hitting golf balls off the tee. At some point, you got to play a round, right? You got to play an actual round of golf. Now, I know you started us. I would like for you to end us with a note or with a tune. Is that something that we can have you do?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Palmer on the saxophone, and he's going to take us out. And thank you for watching the challenge today.